Hi, I'm Kelsa Dickey. Money Made Human is a show about what it actually looks like to handle money well. Not the rules, not the hacks, just the real human experience of building a financial life that fits how you live. Let's get into it.
Money made human, that's the real legacy.
Chapter 6, SpendFuture, Planning for What Doesn't Happen Monthly. Until now, we've been working with the parts of your money that show up all the time. Spend Fixed happens every month, on a schedule. Spend Freely shows up almost every day, in small decisions that add up over time. SpendFuture is different. These are the expenses that don't show up every month. They arrive irregularly, sometimes all at once, and almost always at inconvenient moments. Car repairs, travel, kids' activities, medical costs, vet bills, home maintenance, holidays, annual and quarterly bills, clothing, hobby supplies. Remember, what makes something SpendFuture isn't the type of expense, it's the timing. The vicious cycle. These expenses are the reason so many capable, responsible people still feel like they can't quite get ahead. SpendFuture expenses tend to land with a thud, even when you know they're coming eventually. It's not because they're unreasonable, it's the timing, when they arrive and what your money looks like at that moment. A tire blows out. A kid needs braces sooner than expected. A vet bill hits on the same weekend you were already stretched thin. Or you finally booked the trip you've been talking about for months. The expense itself might not be shocking, but the question that immediately follows usually is, how am I going to pay for this? That question adds stress to an already stressful moment. You still have to deal with the real life problems, getting to work, caring for your family, handling the disruption. And now you're also scrambling financially. When a SpendFuture expense hits without preparation, it doesn't just cost money. It throws off everything else you were trying to do. And if this only happened once, you could absorb it. But it doesn't only happen once. It becomes a vicious cycle. You have a good month, maybe even 2 good months in a row. The amount in your main checking account seems healthy. You finally feel like you're catching your breath. So you do the responsible thing. You pay extra on a credit card, or you add a little to savings. You tell yourself you're making real progress, and it feels good. Then a SpendFuture expense hits, and suddenly it feels like you're right back where you started. The money has to come from somewhere. You put it on a credit card, pull from savings, or both. And just like that, the progress you just made disappears. The story you tell yourself is usually some version of, why does this keep happening? Or, I just can't get ahead. Or, I must be doing something wrong. But what's actually happening is much simpler. You're trying to fund an entire year's worth of irregular expenses with 1 month's extra money. Rachel had been so proud in March. She'd paid an extra $400 on her credit card, which just so happened to be the most she'd ever been able to put toward it at once. Then April happened. Her son needed new cleats for baseball, $85. The dog was due for shots, $150. Her car needed an inspection and failed for a worn tire, $180. Every single expense was reasonable. She knew these things would eventually need to happen, so none of them were exactly surprises. But they all hit in the same 4-week stretch, and all of it went right back on the card. She sat at her kitchen table that night thinking, what's the point? I can never get ahead. Rachel wasn't overspending. She was trying to solve a long-term timing problem with short-term tools. Traditional budgeting trains us to look at money 1 month at a time. That's already a problem for monthly expenses, as we have explored, but it completely falls apart for expenses that don't happen monthly. When a large, irregular expense shows up, it's already too late to budget for it this month. You need to start earlier because that's how these expenses work. SpendFuture expenses aren't a matter of if, they're a matter of when. And the only way to remove the panic is to spread their impact across time instead of letting them crash into a single paycheck. How SpendFuture works. Here's the shift SpendFirst makes. You can't control when these expenses happen, but you can control how you feel them financially. The car repair can still be inconvenient. The timing can still be annoying. You may still need to rearrange schedules or plans, but financially, you won't have to scramble. The goal is fewer surprises, not 0 surprises. The strategy is simple. Instead of reacting to each expense at the moment it shows up, You turn irregular expenses into steady, predictable contributions. Most people try to deal with these expenses all at once. $300 for registration, $900 for tires, $450 for a vet visit. SpendFirst flips that. Instead of reacting when the full amount hits, you spread the cost over time. For example, instead of trying to budget $900 for tires the month you need them, you decide, I'll contribute $100 per month toward my car. That one monthly amount absorbs whatever the car needs over time, such as registration, oil changes, tires, and repairs. Imagine having a clothing account that gets funded monthly, a travel fund, a home repairs fund, a car insurance account for your annual bill. Each one gets a steady contribution. So when it's time for one of these expenses to happen, you're ready for it. Michael has a woodworking account in our SpendFuture system. When he wants a new tool, he doesn't ask me, can we afford this? He checks his hobby fund and the answer is right there. He doesn't need my permission and I don't have to be the one with the answer. SpendFuture accounts take that dynamic out of the equation. The answer is in the account balance, not in one person's head. A lot of months, nothing happens. The money just builds up, waiting. Other months, something does happen. And when it does, the money is already there. The expense might come all at once, but your preparation doesn't have to. Some people enjoy seeing just how precise they can get with their SpendFuture amounts, but you don't have to. The goal is not precision, it's readiness. You're not trying to match dollars to dates perfectly. You're building a buffer that smooths out the unevenness of real life. You may still feel annoyed that something broke. You just don't have to panic about paying for it. Where this money lives. SpendFuture works best when these savings live outside your main checking account. Think of this like digital envelopes, separate savings accounts or buckets clearly titled for what they're meant to cover, funded on a regular rhythm. When SpendFuture money is mixed into your main account, it's easy to spend it without realizing what you're doing. When it's separate, it's visible and it's insulated. This usually means one or more savings accounts that are separate from your main checking and separate from your Spend Freely account. Many banks allow you to create multiple savings accounts or labeled savings buckets with no fees, which makes this much easier than most people realize. And many banks offer high-yield savings accounts that pay significantly more interest than traditional savings. We'll cover specific recommendations later, but for now, look for banks that let you create multiple labeled savings accounts. Visit spendfirst.com/start for our recommendations. Each savings account has a job. The labels matter because they make the purpose of the money obvious. You're not locking money away forever. You're organizing it so it's ready when you need it. We'll talk more about tools and setup later in the book. The core idea is simple. Irregular expenses should be turned into monthly contributions, and money for the future should not be mixed in with money for today. Action step. Start naming these expenses. Right now, the goal is clarity, not perfection. Start a list of your SpendFuture categories. Aim for about 5 to 10 to begin. You will miss some, that's expected. This list evolves over time as your life unfolds. Use broad categories when it makes sense. For example, car expenses, travel, medical, home maintenance, holidays and gifts, or kids' activities. For each category, make your best guess about what it costs over a year. Divide by 12. That's your starting monthly amount. Determine your per paycheck amount. Some people contribute a little bit every pay period. Others will do all their SpendFuture transfers on one day each month, like it has its own due date. You have options. Pick the one that fits your rhythm and know you can always change your mind. Create separate savings accounts or buckets. Go to spendfirst.com/start for banks we recommend. Start contributing. Same amount, same rhythm. This is not permanent. Consider it your first draft. If you saw how many drafts it took me to write the introduction of this book, you'd feel great about your SpendFuture list. We all start somewhere. As months pass and real expenses happen, you'll adjust, add categories, and refine the amounts. The system gets better because it's built to learn from real life. A quick note about emergency savings. You might be wondering, are my SpendFuture savings accounts replacing my emergency fund? No. SpendFuture accounts are savings for future spending. The money in them is meant to be spent. The goal of your emergency fund is to have money that is not spent except in case of a true emergency, which is an important distinction. We'll discuss savings levels and emergency funds in a later chapter. What this changes. This is where clarity turns into calm decision-making. Imagine wanting to buy clothes. Without structure, the decision sounds like, I haven't bought anything in a while. I've been good this month. I think this should be fine. It's a guess. Now imagine looking at a savings account labeled clothing and seeing exactly how much is available. You're not guessing anymore. You're making a decision with a real number in front of you. Now imagine a whole weekend of decisions. You get new tires on Friday. You look at your car account and the money is there. You book plane tickets on Saturday. You look at your travel account and the money is there. You spend Sunday at the local hardware store getting some things done around the house. You look at your home maintenance account and the money is there. For many people, all those expenses landing in the same weekend would create panic by Sunday night because there were too many big expenses at once. But it doesn't have to feel that way. Each of those expenses already has money assigned to it. The timing doesn't matter as much when the preparation is there. That's the difference SpendFuture makes. By naming SpendFuture and giving it a simple structure, you stopped being caught off guard by expenses you always knew were coming. You've stopped hoping they won't show up at the wrong time, and you've given your future life a place in your today money. What comes next? You've now seen all three waves of expenses: what's fixed, what's flexible, and what's coming later. In the next chapter, everything clicks. You'll learn what SpendFirst looks and feels like in your actual day-to-day life when it's all working together. You're hearing this one chapter at a time, but you can get the whole methodology in the SpendFirst book. That way you can highlight it, leave yourself notes, flip back through, and even come back to it whenever you need. One of my professors in college always said that books were meant to be written, read, and then shared. So every time he finished reading a book, he'd bring it to class, give it to a student, and he would share what he personally liked about it. You can get your copy at SpendFirst.com, and I hope you'll find just one person to share it with. Thanks for listening to Money Made Human. If this episode resonated, send it to someone who needs to hear it. New episodes every Thursday. I'll see you next week.
Money made human.